Now.
We are now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this evening's special event here on Titan Trivia. We have another edition of single movie trivia here, but with a little extra twist because it is an anniversary match. So this is an exhibition of sorts, but it has a little bit of extra flavor because somebody here has reached a milestone. We want to make sure that we honor that while also having a match. So I will introduce the competitors first, and then we'll do some basic interviews and get into the rules. So starting out here, the person who is not the one who is the who we're having the anniversary for, coming in with a record of 0-1, which is a little bit controversial, but that's still technically the record anyway. We have Antonio, the Assassin Chavez. And then coming to the ring, the person who we had this whole big spectacle for, is coming in for his 50th match. This is a match he's doing in honor of his late brother. We have here today Christopher.
The legend.
The legend. I'm building suspense. Christopher. The legend. Jay! We'll let that play for a little bit so we can keep the suspense going. And it has to crescendo.
It's like that NBA 2K11 game.
Exactly. That's why I got tired of this damn song. The game got
and
me
with
tired.
that, just wanted to hear that crescendo one more time. All right. So with that, we have our competitors here in the ring. We'll do a basic interview here before we get into the rules. We'll start here with, we'll say for the sake of this particular matchup, the challenger, Antonio. How does it feel to be the person who this match is not for and is basically kind of like the sidekick for this match here tonight? How are you feeling?
I'm still flattered to be a part of it. Yeah, I guess it should speak volumes that Kirsten wanted to go against me. So I appreciate it. I've never been one-on-one with him, so I'm eager to see how this goes. And again, I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Do not let what I say diminish your importance for this. I'm just trying to build a little bit of drama and suspense. Anything you're looking forward to here tonight as far as the questions go, or just in terms of what kind of match it's going to be?
No, I just feel like it's definitely going to be worth waiting for, because as soon as I heard that you were writing it, I'm like, oh shit, I can't wait to see what this guy came up with. So I can't honestly wait. So when we get down
if you saw the Christopher Day versus the Russell Howe match, you'll know that my questions are somewhat challenging, not only for the competitors, but for me to get out as questions as well. Thank you, Antonio. That will then move us on to the guest of honor, I guess I will say, for this particular match. The one who is reaching this 50th match milestone, the one who's doing it here, has a lot of weight on his shoulders for the sake of this match, the legend, Christopher Day. Chris, how are you feeling this evening with all the groundswell of emotion that you must be feeling about this being your 50th?
You know, I'm trying to hold it back so much I probably will be a wreck by the end. You know, it's crazy. You know, 50 is just insane. And the fact that it's almost been about 4 to almost 5 years is even more insane to me, because, you know, it was a little pet project back in 2016. Almost 5 years later, in the year 5, it's about to hit 4. It's crazy. It's insane, because, you know, it's just, you know, it's making me feel fucking old, and I'm only 25. So, you know, that just says the truth about this. And, you know, Antonio's got even more on his plate, because Friday he has his first shot at a titles match. So, you know, this is just a little exhibition for fun. It's not going to count towards, and if I lose, you know, for those who don't know, you will see it in the video on Sunday. Technical difficulties. I didn't get to participate in the match. So, yeah, me got the shot. So, I mean, you know, unfortunately, that's what happens. But I'm excited to do it.
One last question. This might be an emotional one for you, but I'm going to ask it. If your brother was here, what do you think he would say now that you've reached that plateau?
On. Win or lose, just don't be bitch. Let's go.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you took that in stride. I was hoping that it wouldn't cause any sort of breakdown, but I was kind of hoping 10% that it. Either way, Chris, thank you so much for giving us your thoughts. Now that the competitors have been introduced, now that we have done our basic interview, we'll go ahead into our rules here for round one. If you ever watched any sort of Titan trivia or any sort of movie trivia match around the internet sphere, you should know basically how round one works. It is the pen and paper / marker whiteboard round. We're going to have 8 different questions in 8 different movie categories. Everybody's going to write it down and show their answer after 15 seconds. Once those 15 seconds have been completed, everybody will display their answer, say it out loud. We want to make sure that once that countdown is completed, your pens are up and your hands are on screen, although we would prefer that your hands are on screen at all times if possible. If you get the question right, worth 1 point. If you get it wrong, you don't gain, you don't lose a point. There is no stealing in round one. If anybody manages to get all 8 questions correct, they'll get to answer a bonus question for an additional point. Please also note that you as competitors have 4 different repeats to use throughout the match. I will remind you throughout how many repeats that you have. So with that being said, Chris, are you ready? Do you have any questions?
We'll do it.
Antonio, are you ready? Do you have any questions?
No, let's do it.
All right, well then let's knock them down, folks, as we get here into question 1 of round 1. Question 1 is going to be in the category of the 1980s. What city are Steve Martin and John Candy trying to get to in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? What is their ultimate destination? They tried to redo this movie 10 years ago with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis, and it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. We'll just say that. It wasn't the same. It was fine, but it wasn't the same. So with that, we'll do our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, pens up, and we'll start with Antonio.
Still on my list of movies I haven't seen. Chicago?
And Chris?
Chicago.
Both on the board. Chicago is correct. It is a John Hughes movie after all. So
That's why I thought of it.
yep.
I've never.
Well, sometimes context clues and can really help if you don't know exactly what the answer is. So everybody's starting off perfect here, 1 for 1, as we get into question 2, which is in the category of political movies. Who wrote the screenplay for the 1995 Rob Reiner film, The American President?
Who wrote it?
Yep. It is a very famous screenwriter, which is why I'm asking the question.
Well, as long as it's not about Biden, I'm okay.
No, it's about at a time when people really cared what the presidency stood for in the 90s. Because we had this, and then a year later we had, Bill Pullman saving the day from aliens and flying, even though he's the president. He should have never been allowed to do that. Bad form on all his advisors. But with that, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down. Chris.
Was it Robert Towne?
And Antonio.
Just because Aaron Sorkin. I'm not wrong.
Aaron Sorkin is the correct answer. It is a political film. It was the precursor to The West Wing, basically. So with that, Antonio takes the lead 2 to 1 as we get into question 3, which is in the category of animated films. What animated movie features a voice cast of Ian McShane, Keith David, Terry Hatcher, and Dakota Fanning? Yeah, you hear all those names, you're like, that's a great animated movie.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoy this movie, I have to say. I didn't think I would, given the stipulation of kind of what I saw in trailers, but I did very much enjoy this. But with that, we'll go to a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Antonio?
Actually, I had it back. I'm not even going to show my answer.
All right. Chris?
I said Kung Fu Panda.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. The correct answer was Coraline. Coraline. Little girl goes to a world that's dominated by puppets with butt knives. Very scary shit, I will say. But with that, no perfect rounds, so no pressure on anybody as we get into question 4, which is in the category of biopics, or biopics if you're a weirdo. Who plays Ruth Bader Ginsburg in the 2018 biopic On the Basis of Sex? Fortunately, we did lose the notorious RBG here earlier this year, and she got replaced by someone who said that she stands for everything RBG does, but a lot of people know that that's not entirely the case. But politics aside, we already had a political question. We're not going to get into any more of that as we get into our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Chris?
Is it Felicity Jones?
And Antonio?
Yeah, I got Felicity Jones too.
Felicity Jones is correct. You guys had that right, as our score is currently 3-2 in favor of Antonio. As we get into question 5, which is in the category of classics. In the 1951 musical, An American in Paris, what job/passion does Gene Kelly have? I have to put passion in there because I think some people might not think of this as a real occupation. So I covered my bases. I've never seen this movie. I don't know if I will ever have an opportunity to see this movie. But, Gene Kelly kind of ruled in the 50s. I've heard it's very good. I just got a lot of other things on my plate. But all things on plate aside, get to the countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, and we go back to Antonio.
Singer?
And Chris?
Answer?
Yep. Oh, did you say answer? I thought you said answer. Like I wanted you to get the answer. No, unfortunately. Dancer. No, unfortunately, you're both incorrect. The correct answer was painter.
Damn it! I was going to change my mind.
So you were both in the vicinity, but it was painter. All right. So with that classic question out of the way, get the hell out of here, classics. We get into question 6, which is in the category of coming of age. Where does the main character Duncan end up working for the majority of the film, the way back? I think I've seen half of this movie, and it's not like I didn't want to see the other half. I just got busy with other things. But yeah, apparently very good. Written by the guys who did The Descendants. So, they're Oscar winners.
For the year it came out. Because the year it came out, there were so many great movies that should have been on.
It did come out in a pretty good movie year, I will say that. But movie years aside, again, countdown to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Chris, what's your answer?
I got Water Park.
And Antonio?
Yes, library.
Chris is correct. It is a water park, specifically Water Whiz is the answer. So if one of you were so bold to say Water Whiz, I would have given you the answer. I would have given you the correct point there. But with that, we're tied 3-3 as we go into the 7th question, which is in the category of action adventure. In Ridley Scott's Robin Hood, who plays the villainous Prince John? Did want to make sure that I didn't just say Robin Hood, because I bet somebody would say, well, that cartoon version of Robin Hood was not really an action-adventure movie. It's an animated movie. So I wanted to make sure that that was fully stated that we're talking about Ridley Scott's Robin Hood.
I don't consider this movie an action movie because it's really more of a really overlong drama.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It thought it was really cool. I like to think of it as a movie that thought it was cool, but it wasn't. Or as it wasn't as cool as it thought it was.
It was awful.
With that, opinions aside, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Antonio, your answer?
Just a guess. I don't know if I spelled his name correctly. Syrian Hines.
And Chris?
I said Ian McShane. I wasn't sure.
Both incorrect. The answer was Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac is Prince John.
What am I watching now?
Yeah, I think Syrian Hines was in it, but I don't remember who he was.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, sure.
I think he was. I don't remember at this moment, so don't quote me on that. But in this case, the answer was Oscar Isaac. And that will take us, as we're still tied here, into the 8th and final question, which is in the category of Westerns. In 2017's Hostiles, what Native American tribe is Yellow Hawk the chief Christian Bale's ordered to escort from?
Can you repeat that?
Yep. In 2017's Hostiles, what Native American tribe is Yellow Hawk, the chief Christian Bale is ordered to escort from? This is on the list, I would say. This is on the list of things that I know I really want to watch. Again, just haven't come across it, haven't got around to it.
Absolutely adore this film. Not just because of the fact
Try
that
watching
it's
it again.
but this movie is fucking incredible, and it's an underrated gem that a lot of people don't know. And I love Out of the Furnace. Obviously, it's one of my favorite movies. Movie based on that, but yeah, this one is pretty amazing.
I will keep that in mind as I attempt again to watch it. But with that being said, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pens down. And for the final question here, Chris, what's your answer?
I don't know if it's right because I might have mixed them up.
And Antonio?
Sioux tribe?
Both incorrect. The answer was Cheyenne. It's part of the Cheyenne tribe. So with that, round 1 is mercifully done as we get here to the end. And we do have a tie ball game, people. We have 3-3, Antonio and Chris. As we get into round 2, where, again, this is a somewhat different round than you might be used to if you haven't watched Titan Trivia before. I call it the category/betting round, which I promise will make sense in due time. So we have 3 categories of actors that correspond to the letters A, B, and C. Whoever is in the lead, in this case, since they're tied, and since this match is for Chris, we'll go ahead and let Chris be the one who makes the decision. He's going to choose one of the letters and hear the actor or actress for which these 3 questions are going to be asked. If he wants to choose someone else after I tell him who it is, he has one more opportunity to pick from the remaining letters, but whatever choice he makes the second time will, in fact, be locked in. Once the category is conveyed, each player will write down a wager of points from 0 to 5, indicating what they're betting, and they're going to show me. Now, because Chris and Antonio only have 3, they can't go beyond the 3, because we're not going to do negative points here, because that's nuts. So in this case, they can bet up to 3 points. If either of them get 2 of the 3 questions right, they'll retain those points. If they manage to go a perfect 3 for 3, they'll gain what they bet. But if they get less than 2 correct, 1 or 0, they will lose the amount that they bet. So like round 1, it is a pen and paper whiteboard round. So each competitor will write down their answers, say them aloud, 15 seconds to answer, and there is no stealing again. So again, we are tied here. Both competitors have all 4 repeats. Since we're tied, we're going to go ahead and give Chris the honor of picking either letter A, B, or C. So Chris, which letter would you like?
Let's go with the A first.
A is in the category of Kurt Russell. Would you like to keep that or go again?
Let's keep it. Let's go for it this time.
All right, we're keeping with what's his name in the Fast and Furious, Mr. Nobody. We're going to keep with Mr. Nobody here as we move into the category of the venerable Kurt Russell. So again, go ahead and give everybody a couple seconds to give their bets, and then they're going to show me what those bets are. Got to talk about strategy here. How well do these guys know Kurt Russell? Are they willing to risk it all? Roll the dice. We will see here in a mere 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Antonio, what is your bet?
2.
2, big 2 from Antonio. And Chris, what is your bet?
I put 0.
Oh, he's playing the strategic round. So it is a stats-only round for Chris, and Antonio has a chance to take a lead if he's able to get all 3 of these questions right. So, gentlemen, let's give you your first question in the category of Kurt Russell. Who plays the president for life that hires Snake to retrieve a super weapon in 1996's Escape from L.A.? Obviously a big fan of the original. Have not watched the sequel in a long, long time. It does pale in comparison, obviously. But, you know, John Carpenter was a lot better in the 70s and 80s than he was in the 90s. But it is what it is. All right. So as the competitors' other boards up, we'll go ahead and give a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. And Antonio, we'll start with you.
I'm glad you referenced the only Escape from movie that I've seen. So is it Cliff Robertson?
And Chris?
One of the greatest bad guys in the history of cinema, Lee Van Cleef.
Antonio is right. It is Cliff Robertson, actually.
All right.
So Antonio is still on his way to at least retain his points. Obviously, Chris, it doesn't matter. He's just really doing this for posterity's sake. But with that, we'll go ahead into question 2, still in the category of Kurt Russell. What is the name of the game the women play where they ride on the hood of a moving car in 2007's Death Proof?
Oh, you bastard.
Hey, I thought this would be right in your wheelhouse, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the best Tarantino movie.
Very
No, not at all. But I wanted to make sure we got a question about this somewhere. All right, well, we're thinking about what the name of that game is that those crazy women play. Go ahead and give a countdown of 5.
Repeat.
4. All right, Antonio uses his first repeat. Again, in the category of Kurt Russell, what is the name of the game the women play where they ride on the hood of a moving car in 2007's Death Proof? Oh, Death Proof. It's going to scare you to death. But after that, he's going to run his car into other cars and get you murdered and then have you get blamed for it because you were drinking, not him. Such an ingenious plot it was. All right. So while we're ruminating on that, you can go back to the countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Chris, your answer?
I said chicken.
And Antonio?
I think I got only one word. It's not flying mast, right?
You did get one of the words. The answer is ship's mast.
Shift. God damn it,
Ship's
man.
mast. All right. So with that, Antonio has to try to get this third question right so he does not go down 2. Again, Chris just bet 0, so it doesn't mean anything to him. But with that, we get into our third and final question of the category of Kurt Russell here. To finish it off, who directed Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn in the 1987 rom-com Overboard?
Ooh.
They tried to do a remake of this movie.
Horrible.
Did you see the remake? It was bad.
No, I refused on principle. There's other movies you can remake. Probably shouldn't do that one. But they tried. They tried. Nothing beats a classic, you know? Like Overboard, where a woman gets amnesia, try to make sure that the guy, to pay her off her debt, makes her think that she's in charge of his kids. Isn't that great? With that, countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Antonio, to retain the points that you bet, what is your answer?
Those are good questions, man, but I don't think I got it. Ron Howard?
And Chris?
Robert Zemeckis.
You are both incorrect, unfortunately. The answer is Gary Marshall.
He was so famous back then.
Well, with that, unfortunately, that means Antonio is going to lose the 2 points that he bet. Chris did not bet any points, it looks like smartly. So with that, we go into round 3 with Christopher Day having a lead of 3-1 over Antonio. And that's going to take us here into our third and final round, it's not a championship, the exhibition final round, which is the random number category round. That's how I call it. Each competitor here is going to pick 3 numbers from 1 to 12. Each number is going to correlate to a category with a question in that category. Depending on if they select the number first, second, or third, the question will correspond to a 2, 3, or 5-point question, respectively. Since our participants will be getting different categories, no need to write down the answer. Just verbalize it within the 15 seconds. Please keep hands on the screen at all times. Whoever's in the lead after the third round will be declared the winner of this exhibition. and will be met with glory and praise. The others will be brought back on their shield, a la Sparta, in whatever context you want it to, historical or 300, but probably not because we're all virtual and we can't make that happen. But with that being said, as I mentioned, Chris has a 3-1 lead. So Chris, you can pick your 3 numbers first. Please pick 3 numbers from 1 to 12.
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. That's a classic, as they say. And Antonio, your numbers from 1 to 12 that are not 1, 2, or 3.
7, 8, 9.
Oh, look at you guys. Just going in ordinal sequence. Isn't that great? Well, since we're in a situation where Antonio is behind, we're going to go to his question first. We will go back over to Chris if he happens to tie it or take a lead. So, Antonio, you pick the number 7 for your 2-point question.
Right?
No. Just verbalize. You're getting different questions, so you're good. So, Antonio, you picked category 7, which is in the category of movie quotes. Okay? What film has the following quote? What we've got here is a failure to communicate.
Oh, Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Luke is the correct answer. So with that, Antonio ties the match back up at 3. So that's going to send it over. We don't have a TKO situation. This is going to send it back over to Chris for him to answer his 2-pointer. So Chris, you chose category 1, which is in the category of movie release dates, as somebody would yell.
Hey, drink the mic.
Yep. So in the category of movie release dates, what year saw the release of such films as Milk, Gran Torino, and Valkyrie?
That'd be 2000.
I'm sorry, you broke up. Can you say that again?
2008.
2008 is the correct answer. That is correct. So with that, Chris takes the lead back at 5-3. So we're going to go back to Antonio for his 3-point question. So Antonio, you went in order, in ascending order. So you went to number 8, and number 8 is in the category of scores and soundtracks.
Okay.
Name 2 of the 3 films John Williams did not score for Steven Spielberg. So there were 3 films John Williams did not score. Name 2 of them.
For Spielberg, you mean? He didn't
For
score
Spielberg, yes.
Okay. Superman the movie and Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Hold on. I'm going to clarify again.
Oh, okay.
These are Spielberg, these are John Williams movies. These are Spielberg movies that John Williams did not score.
Oh, okay, all right. So,
yeah. I think you got confused on that. So I'm going to...
wait, 2 movies that Spielberg did that Williams did not score.
Yes.
Oh.
Wanted to make sure you had a real chance at this.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3.
Repeat.
All right. Antonio, that is your second repeat, so you get 2 left. In the category of scores and soundtracks, name 2 of the 3 films John Williams did not score for Steven Spielberg. So Steven Spielberg movies that John Williams did not score.
Bridge of Spies and Duel.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. You did get one of them. Bridge of Spies is correct, but the other correct answers were The Color Purple and Ready Player One.
Oh my gosh.
I thought
So-
the Post, honestly.
I forgot.
Now,
Duel.
he did the Post, and because of that, he couldn't do Ready Player One. Interestingly enough.
I went way too old school with Duel. I don't know why I was.
He did. Alan Silvestri actually did the score for Ready Player One because he wanted it to feel Zemeckis-y, like Back to the Future.
Right.
Either way. I digress. But because Antonio missed that, we have to stick with him for his 5-point question. So, Antonio, you have to hit this to send it back to Chris. If you do not, then Chris is going to be declared the winner. So, Antonio, you picked number 9 as your 5-point question.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is in the category of Oscars.
All right.
Listen very carefully, because this will be similar to that 3-pointer. 2 people in Oscars history have 3 wins for screenwriting. One is Woody Allen. Who is the other? Who is a writer of such films as Network and Marty?
Nice.
Oh, come on. Oh, I know this one.
It is a 5-point question. I think this would I think this would count as a 5-point question.
It's a good one.
That is a good one.
So again, just to clarify, 2 people have 3 wins for screenwriting. One is Woody Allen. Who's the other who wrote films like Network and Marty? So with that, I'll go ahead and give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3. All right, Tone, you got 1 more left. Again, number 9 is the category of Oscars. 2 people in Oscars history have 3 wins for screenwriting. One is Woody Allen. Who is the other who is the writer of such films as Network and Marty? Gonna have to go ahead and give you another countdown. 5, 4.
Maybe the last one.
All right, burning the last one. You can't take them with you, so you might as well. Again, category of Oscars. 2 people in Oscars history have 3 wins for screenwriting. One is Woody Allen. Who is the other who is the writer of such films as Network and Marty? Tension is palpable. We're going to have to go ahead. And Antonio, I'm going to have to give you your final count. 5, 4.
I don't even know if he's a screenwriter. Sidney Pollack.
And your winner! It was Christopher Day's 50th anniversary match, so it's akin that he should be the one who's declared the winner, Christopher the Legend Day. The answer to that question was Patty Chayefsky.
I would never done that.
Well, it's a 5-pointer for a reason, I guess. So we have the ending of this 50th anniversary match, this exhibition. Christopher Day comes out at top with a score of 5-3. So we're going to go ahead and we'll do some post-match interviews, and then we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up. We'll go to our second place finisher because there are no losers when you compete. If you put yourself out here to compete, you are never a loser. That's what I have to say. But in this case, the second place finisher is going to be Antonio Chavez. Assassin, in this case, I think you just, the betting, you were right there. You almost were able to retain your points, but I think you just chose some numbers with some questions that were a little bit difficult. How are you feeling after this match? How are you feeling about those questions? How are you feeling in general?
I like the questions, honestly, man. Yeah, they're hard, but they're like the type of hard that, actually gets me to like want to be like, damn, I need to actually brush up on some stuff. Like even the Oscars, not the scores and soundtracks. I'm like, damn, I should have known that it was either. I don't know. I overthought it. I went a little bit too old school. I was like, who, because it was Spielberg before he was really Spielberg. My dad showed me that movie, so I thought maybe, Spielberg did it. Maybe Williams didn't score it, but I don't think it was theatrically released. That was my issue. And then
I believe that's a TV movie.
Right. And I was like, damn, because my dad was watching it on TV, but I thought it was like an actual movie of this. But otherwise, yeah, man, I could have been on the betting also, but hey, I tried my best, and Chris deserves the win. So.
Is there anything you would have done differently as far as the match goes that you kind of look back and wish things had been different?
No, I probably still would have bet the same, I mean, obviously in hindsight, I would bet zero because I was like, those are pretty hard questions. But there are questions I feel like I should have known. Like I love the movie Overboard. I'm like, damn, I should have known that. And just no, I think just could have done better. Just not fault. Oh, the freaking Tarantino question. That's gonna bite me in the ass too, man. I'm like right there. I'm just like, and I love that movie too. Man. It really had a brain fart. That's why I was like, I got one word right, and the rest I'm just like.
You did. You were right there. And frankly, when I was thinking about Death Proof question, it was either that or what show was that car in that they went to go purchase that they did ship's mast on. Thought about that too. But I thought that would actually be more difficult. But either way, Antonio, thank you for competing here tonight. You put on a hell of a performance. Again, I tend to make these questions a little bit more difficult, but you hung in there and you were right there on some of them. You just weren't quite where you needed to be. But I know when you come back, you'll have a chance to play somebody and you'll beat the hell out of them because I know you.
Right.
But with that being said, we go to our victor here for today, Christopher the Legend Day. Chris, this was your 50th match. Fitting that you should come out on top as part of a win. What are you feeling right now inside of your body, inside of your brain, since you were able to take home the victory?
Inside of my body, I think I need food. Inside of my brain, I'm really proud of this match. I mean, Antonio played the crap out of this match, and honestly, I thought that there was a go around for a second where I knew I might not win. So down to Antonio, he's definitely going to be a champion in the next near future. I don't know when, but for sure he will be down the line. He's earned that right. I've watched this young man since he's probably older than me, so why am I saying young man?
Yeah, I don't know why you're saying
I watched this great competitor rise so well, and even if it's Joe or anywhere else, I don't know how long he's been doing this, but like Chris Diaz and like Robert, he's definitely a rising competitor. So I do want to say that. Emotionally, as you saw maybe at the end when you heard my name, I was a little emotional when I heard my name called. Obviously, 50 matches is a milestone, and I know the fact that Grant Gregory's coming back next week, which is insane to me. And I know he's going to be standing here someday, and I know that I'm going to be with Robert here, and probably Antonio hosting this match, and for him, and especially can't wait to see when I'm, down the line when Antonio and Robert have their own 50th match. It's going to be a celebration in itself. So that's really what I have to say about it. I mean, the best advice I have to new competitors who are rising to the top is just keep working. It's a hard road, but 50 matches coming in, it's incredible, and it's something that if you really work hard and if you really do what you have to do, even if you make mistakes like I did, which I have, you can rise to the top, and you can be a better competitor than you want to be, and you can improve, and even if you win a title or not, you're still a champ in our books. So I mean, that's really all I have to say about that.
Are you looking forward to competing down the line for potential title? Since, as you mentioned at the top, there were technical issues that prevented you from doing so before.
Yeah. Obviously, I am. That's next month. It's going to be, I think, a couple weeks before Christmas. Obviously, probably the second week, I think, of December. So yeah, no, I'm excited. Honestly, I am very, very excited. Whoever the champion. Between Chris and Antonio and Rob, obviously, it's going to be a hell of a match. And hands off first off to Haven for filling in and doing the questions and the hosting because he's going to do a great job as always. He is great, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. Obviously, I got to go up against my new tag team partner, so that's going to be fun. And then obviously the champ. So and Derek's never won one, and whoever is the champ is going to their first title defense. So, it's a fun thing. But if I don't win 3, I mean, that's fine with me. 2 is really well to have, and it's a lot, and just to get your first is even harder. So, Antonio, you and Rob both will get there someday. I'm excited to see all this new meat, though. I see all these new faces coming in, and some who are in the past and some who are, and obviously with Matt Graham and These Nuts coming back and the tag tourney, I'm excited.
Yep.
So, just seeing everybody come back and all these new faces, the Geeks match coming up with Andrea and Richard and, Joe and Russell. I'm just proud of what Titan's becoming. So that's really all I have to say on that.
It is an ever-growing network, and you did mention the idea of Antonio and me getting titles here in the near future. Well, we are coming in as a team, as we have in so many other mediums, to try to win a team's belt. So I feel like because of that, things are within our grasp for certain. Chris, thank you for your thoughts. Obviously, emotional day for you. Just a little bit before we go into our wrap-up. I am a bit biased because, again, this guy down here is my team's partner. Tough one for him today, but I know how hard he works. I know we talk about this stuff all the time, but I know he will be back. Chris is obviously great because he's won some titles and he's got title shots in his future. So I think this is just a preview of things to come. I think these guys can definitely play down the line, potentially for something that's very meaningful outside of just Chris's platform and plateau of reaching that 50th match. But you have to stay tuned and see that in the future. But that being said, we're ready to go ahead and wrap up. We'll just go around the horn briefly so everybody can find out where they can catch you, starting with the Assassin.
Just find me Antonio Chavez on any of these trivia leagues, especially Titan Trivia. Just hit me up. Always glad to make more friends.
Great. Thank you, Antonio. And Christopher Day, the legend, where can good people find you?
You can find me here at Jack of All Trivia. You can find me at Jack of All Trivia, but you can find me here at Titan Trivia. I am coming back to Jack. I don't know when. Haven and I have confirmed that I will be coming back soon. Just don't know when. Obviously, the Derek Parker match left me in quite a exhaustion, so I needed a break from that, and obviously the greatness of that Facebook page. We got some great things coming up for Titan Trivia. Obviously, Friday, the pay-per-view. It's going to be a 3-part pay-per-view. 7 o'clock, 8 Eastern for you guys. You will get Andrea versus Richard. At 9 o'clock Eastern, you will get Joe versus Russell. And at 10 o'clock Eastern, you'll get the great almost 2-hour triple threat match of Robert, Antonio, and Chris. And it's a hell of a great match, and I made my face in there sometimes. So very excited for that. Obviously, next week we got the newly debuted Geeks now, which is awesome to say that we're finally saying, hey, we're in Geeks, because me and Mr. Robert have been really working our ass off on getting that done. So next week, Chris Diaz and Mr. Grant Gregory making his return to the big stages in trivia. Obviously, it's like having the Undertaker come back. It's frightening, but it's great. I'm extremely excited to see him come back, and the new Hall of Famer, might I add. He's a Hall of Famer now, so, might I add that. We got that interview coming up soon. We don't know when it's going to be, but we're going to definitely get that interview soon. And, of course, Aftermath will come back. I think we have a set for this weekend, if I'm correct.
Okay.
I don't know. So I believe we have a set for this weekend, or it'll be next week, because we have a lot to cover. So obviously, and Antonio, you're welcome to come on as well if you want to have a little interview. So I'm excited for that. And then my new film, Brother, comes out December 11th. We'll have a screening next week. So that'll be on this channel, Chris Day, December 11th.
Christopher Day, thank you. You are a man of many talents, and yes, that Iron Man match did last almost 2 hours, and it felt it for sure.
About an hour and 49.
It felt all of those minutes for sure. But thank you both. For me, the host, the greatest MC, as it says in my name down there, Robert Kastner. You can catch me on Facebook at Robert Kastner, doing all these things here in Titan and all the other trivia leagues, singles, teams, geeks. Working with this man a lot. So they know me. They get annoyed by me, but they put up with me. So that's what's the most important thing. So with that being said, this takes us to the end of this 50th anniversary match for Chris Day. I want to thank everybody out there in Titan Trivia. For Antonio the Assassin, for the legend Chris Day, I am Robert the Ghost, the greatest MC Kastner. Good night. Don't forget to tip your virtual waitress.
Wear your face mask, too.
Yeah.
Also,